Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Chloe Kaufman, and when I was 17, I learned that sometimes being special just means that you don't get the easy diagnosis. A few months ago, I was told that I had polycystic ovarian syndrome, or PCOS. At first, the diagnosis made sense. PCOS is the most common hormonal disorder in teen girls, affecting between 6 and 18% of adolescents. So it seemed like my body had picked the most logical and honest, the most boring explanation possible. But it turns out my body doesn't just do normal. Instead of the common answer, doctors eventually discovered that I had one of the most rarest endocrine conditions seen in teenagers, a pituitary tumor in my brain. Today, I want to explain what PCOS and pituitary tumors are and why they can be easily confused, and how recognizing the differences can lead to a even more accurate diagnosis. First, let's talk about what these conditions are. PCOS is a hormonal disorder that affects the ovaries and the reproductive hormones. Symptoms also often begin during adolescence and can include irregular periods, weight gain, acne, hair growth, and hormonal imbalances. One challenge with diagnosing PCOS is that sometimes its symptoms can look similar to normal changes during puberty. Pituitary tumors, on the other hand, affect the pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is also called the master gland because it helps control many of the body's hormones and regulates several other endocrine glands. Unlike PCOS, pituitary tumors are extremely rare in children and teenagers, affecting fewer than 1 in a million adolescents. My own journey started last summer when doctors found an 8 centimeter ovarian cyst. As more symptoms appeared, PCOS seemed like the obvious explanation. I was diagnosed with PCOS, and for a while, everyone thought that we had our answer, but we were wrong. The second reason that these conditions are often confused is because they share many of the same symptoms. Both PCOS and pituitary tumors can cause irregular periods or absent menstrual cycles, weight gain, hair thinning, and hormone imbalances. Because these symptoms overlap so much, it can be difficult for doctors to know which condition is causing them. In my case, I went 6 months without having a menstrual cycle. I also gained about 30 pounds in what seemed like overnight. And trust me, when you already have thin hair, losing more is not exactly a confidence booster. Because my symptoms matched the typical signs of PCOS, that was what the diagnosis doctors focused on first. According to Duke Health, one of the keys to distinguishing PCOS from other conditions is how quickly symptoms appear. PCOS symptoms are usually gradual and develop over time, while a sudden appearance of rapid worsening of symptoms may point to another underlying cause. That brings me to my final point, the differences that ultimately revealed my pituitary tumor and why an accurate diagnosis matters. Unlike PCOS, pituitary tumors can cause symptoms caused by pressure on nearby structures in the brain. These symptoms may include headaches, ringing the ears, and vision changes, along with everything else that also can lead to PCOS. For me, those warning signs started to become impossible to ignore. I developed frequent headaches and began losing vision on my left side of my peripheral vision. At first, I thought maybe I was imagining it, but a vision field test confirmed that I had a blind spot. That led doctors to order an MRI. The MRI revealed a 2 centimeter pituitary tumor. Suddenly, everything made sense. The symptoms that had been blamed on PCOS were actually being caused by something much rarer. This experience taught me why accurate diagnosis is so important. Early diagnosis can help prevent complications, protect important functions like vision, and give patients and their families more time to understand their condition and plan for treatment. Today, we've looked at what PCOS and pituitary tumors are, how they share many of the same symptoms, and the key differences that help doctors to discover my tumor. Although PCOS and pituitary tumors can look remarkably alike, there are very different conditions, and recognizing the warning signs can make a life-changing difference. The ongoing experience has taught me something I will never forget. Just because something is common does not mean it's always the right answer. And just because something is rare does not mean that it should be ignored. Sometimes you have to keep asking questions when your body is telling you that something is not right. So yes, I guess my parents were right when they said I was special. They just never specified it would be the medical kind. Thank you.